What's going on, YouTube? Small Door here, and I'm lazy when it comes to video editing and all of that kind of stuff. I was going to make an edited video on my top games of the year of 2025, and I even did a recording for it, and so all I would have had to have done is edited the videos of a little bit of each game as I'm talking about them. That's a lot of work, man. Um, so instead, I'm just going to do a one-shot, and what I have is I'm literally copying another content creator that I saw basically do this, and he did it this way where he just pulled up videos off of YouTube of all the games. So of course, for him being a large content creator, just pulled up his own videos. And for me, that's all but two of them for me, since I started to upload everything to YouTube anyway. But that way it's a lot easier for me. And so shout out to Maximilian, dude, because he's, I think, one of the best content creators out there, even if you're not into fighting games. Anyways, this right here is this side, my list of games that I've played in 2025, including a couple things that are actually literally only one thing that's not from 2025, but I played it for the first time in 2025. There were a couple of the games that I did play and completed or got pretty close, but I chose not to put them on the list because no matter how I thought about it, I just couldn't justify putting it on the list. And then we're going to go ahead and rank these. So let's talk about, these are all the games. This is not the order that I have my YouTube videos that I'm going to show you guys, just so we can talk about them. But we got Blueprints is our first thing here. What a game, guys. This game, anybody for like into puzzles, roguelite, whatever, this game is absolutely genre defining, genre innovation. This game blew me away. I remember playing the demo in the Summer Games Fest, the summer year before, 2024. I was like, wow. It was one of the first times I ever really played a demo. At least since I was a kid, probably playing off of like the PlayStation discs in like an EGM magazine or something. Blown away. I put, I don't know, probably about 100 hours in this game. I easily could have put in more. I solved to the end of the game, in terms of like what most people would, that the community is kind of like deemed as, yeah, you finished everything, but did you really? Love this game to death. I don't honestly get to play a lot of games like this because there's just not enough, but I'm really, really hoping to get more experiencing games like this. Roguelike games. As you can see right here, I'm doing one of these the box puzzles in the parlor. Dude, this game is, man, I kind of want to play some more of this game. Like, it's that good. But yeah. Next up, though, we're going to talk about this. It's Night Rain. Elden Ring Night Rain came out this year. It was one of these things where it's like, is this gonna be good? No good? You know, like what are they thinking? FromSoft is, you know, they're doing something completely different. Was this gonna be a, you know, something that should have just been free DLC? Is this really worthy of being a brand new game? You know, like I don't know, man. But I think this game came out at the perfect time because for a lot of people, it really kind of filled the void of what Monster Hunter Wilds didn't do for people. And don't get me wrong, I still loved Monster Hunter Wilds. It's on my list. But this game, at the time that it came out, it was Monster Hunter Wilds was only in its base form. And, you know, there was a lot left to be desired for a lot of people. And this filled that. It was so good, so much fun. They're still updating it, right? It had its DLC drop, the Forsaken Hollows. I think this is incredible. It's a great adventure for FromSoft, and I can't wait to see what they got next with this game, along with obviously other games. Their multiplayer is clearly something they're pushing with Duskbloods coming out next year or this year. Oh my gosh, it's 2026, guys. But yeah, you know, it's something I think Night Rain is really, really good. Um, then there's this little game that came out called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This game was incredible. And it sucks that, like, okay, so I played this entire game before I watched Maximilian Dude's playthrough. I promise you. And had the exact same feelings that he did. The only thing that I disagree with him on is I don't mind multi-choice endings. It honestly didn't bother me at all. I kind of enjoyed it, to be fair, because it really gave that, I don't know what you call it. It allows the player to have to think about it. You know, there's that afterthought. You finished it and you're just like, you're still thinking about it, you know, kind of thing. And having the multiple endings of like two distinct ways that could really, really allows for that. But yeah, this game was, I could not put it down. I could not put this down. I honestly wish I played this on PlayStation so I can get my trophies, but I played it on PC because I wasn't really sure if it was going to be that good. If there ever ends up being a time where I have a reason to play the game again, I'm going to probably do that. Play it on PlayStation. But got all the Steam achievements, all 55. I think it's 55. Love it. There's not much else to really be said that hasn't, this game hasn't got all of its praises. Music, story, characters, environments, art, combat, whatever gameplay. There's nothing that this game does wrong other than Act 3. And supposedly it's been fixed or changed for the better. We'll see. I don't know. I played the game when it first launched. I took time off of work to play this game. So, anyways, next up, we have this little gem of a game that I played, and this game right here is Of Ash and Steel. It's super indie jank, but ultra ambitious, large scale, third person open world RPG sim, almost immersive sim in a sense. This is the game that's kind of like made me change my decisions on what I want to be streaming this year as well, and what kind of content that I want to be, or well, games that I want to be pushing for 2026, because as those of you who are going to watch this know, I'm not a big content creator. I'm like, I just do this on my free time when I'm not at work, and, I'm a 5 to 10 viewer Andy at best. This game dropped, I was averaging like 20 to 30, and the YouTube videos were doing, in the hundreds. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe not towards the end because it took me too long to beat the damn game, but this game was actually really good. I truly think, especially in its current state and with the last patch, I actually think this game is legitimately good. It fixed a lot of the issues that a lot of people, myself included, had with this game. It's still jank. They're not gonna like completely patch out the jank, but they're able to make a lot of quality of life changes. The stealing and making it very clear if you're stealing. Pretty much all the quests work now. I don't know, man. I mean, the voice acting's trash. I don't want to say trash. Actually, not bad. What I meant to say was like the animations when it comes to talking, they always kind of talk like this, right? With their mouth like this. It's a little weird, and their hands are kind of like this. But this game has full night day. It has every crafting system you can think of, pretty much. It has skill trees up the wazoo. It has hidden perks and systems based off of things that you just do throughout the game. It's got multiple types of weapons for combat. You have one-handed swords, two-handed maces, one-handed maces, rapiers. I used rapiers. It has daggers. It has shields. It has, actually doesn't have shields. Actually, I don't know if it has shields. Actually, I don't think it does. You have bows. The crossbows were fixed. You have eventually you get like a loose magic system. I don't really want to call it a magic system. It's more like Dragonborn stuff from Skyrim, and not the magic. But you have the full crafting, the cooking. I already talked about all that, right? You have a bajillion quests. And sure, the majority of them are fetch quests, but they're still kind of fun, good XP. I don't know, man. I enjoyed it a lot, but I do understand where people are coming from when they're like, yeah, this game's trash. I don't think it is, though. I think this game, if you like games like Gothic, if you like games like Elix, this is a game to check out 100% of Ashen Steel. Next up, we can't pass up Tic Tacs. One of the greatest... Hold up, I'm still covering my... It was one of the greatest games of all time. Like, it's legitimately one of the greatest games of all time. And this remaster, I think, is how you do that era of remasters if you're not looking for a full remake. This is it. This is it. It is insane. Like, can you imagine if they did a remaster of like Final Fantasy VIII or Final Fantasy IX? It's not a remake, but what they did instead is they gave it extremely high quality voice acting for all the dialogue in the game. They cleaned up the UI. They obviously remastered it to do HD and everything like that. You know, a nice, more cleaner UI. Game runs pure 60 plus FPS, no problem. This I did play on PlayStation. It's... Dude. I could not put this game down. It was that good. I don't know. There's not much else to say. It's Final Fantasy Tactics. It's insane. Next up we have... Let me move my webcam on this side. I'm covering up my stream version of myself. It's KCD2. It's Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This video is probably going to be kind of choppy because the only VOD that I have of this is I was experimenting with streaming on YouTube at the time. And it was also before I learned how to kind of like fix my my streams in general, because they do look better now. But this game's insane. I've talked about this many times, where I'm not a huge fan of the setting being like medieval but not fantasy. That's like a huge turnoff for me. Like, it's a big turnoff. Same thing like westerns, like Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. Those games, I think are fine, you know. That's just a me thing. I know everybody else thinks they're god tier, but I just don't like the setting. And the setting's all, it's like, just the pure setting is already making me like, ugh. You know, that's just a me thing, okay? That being said, this game does so much right, so much good. It's still insane. The game is still absolutely nuts, insane, bonkers good. If you like immersive sims, if you like RPGs, if you just like the medieval setting, you need to play this game. It's incredible. The game's incredible. It's just one of those things where, like, this whole time I was playing this game, I was thinking, but what if there was monsters and magic, though? You know what I mean? Like, what if there was monsters and magic, though? Yeah, that's KCD2. It's, I absolutely love this game. Apologize for the low quality on this one, but next one, it is Monster Hunter Wilds. And again, keep in mind that these videos that I'm talking about here, it is not the order. This is not my order. We're going to do with the order after we talk about each game. But yeah, it's Monster Hunter Wilds. This was my most anticipated game for like almost a year before it came out. Oh, why do I have my webcam down there? And it was fine at launch. Game was fine. And here's the thing, though. I probably wouldn't have put it on my list if it wasn't for the fact that all of the updates combined now to where it's at. The game is actually really good. I think the game's really good. The last update, Title Update 4, really helped with the optimization, I think. I was already getting pretty good performance anyway, but it's even way better now. So, I don't know. And yeah, the amount of content that's in the game, the added talisman stuff, the added transcendent stuff, the GOG Ardian gear now, I think it's in a really good spot. The last thing that needs to come out is the Arc-tempered Arc-Veld, and then whatever armor set that releases with. And then hopefully we'll be getting some news on a DLC, because I'm really looking forward to it. I still get the itch sometimes to be playing this game, you know, just for fun, just to kill some monsters. Maybe I'll do that after I finish this video. Yeah, it's Monster Hunter Wilds. I love Monster Hunter. I wish I would have got into Monster Hunter sooner. Honestly, because I started with World. I've only played World, Rise, and this, and I wish I could get into Generations Ultimate, but I just can't. The graphics, I can't. Sorry. Next up, we're going to talk about Avowed. So this is the game that I ended up choosing to play over Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 at the time, because these games came out, I believe, less than a week apart. And a lot of people are like, really? You chose Avowed over KCD2, bro? I'm like, yeah, it's the setting. The setting does so much for me. Like, so much. Even though KCD2 is superior to this game in so many aspects and so many elements. But here's the thing, though, with Avowed. Avowed really just wanted to tell a story within the world of Pillars of Eternity in the Living Lands. And you played a particular character. I have no... Oh. I was wondering, what just happened there? Forget this is my thoughts video on it, because I didn't have any other footage. But this is my footage. You saw my webcam there for a second. I still really, really enjoyed the game, man. I mean, yeah. Does it have issues? It's not that it's so much that it has issues, it's that it's lacking in certain areas that pretty much every other game of this type already does, and this game just doesn't do it. But I think it executes very, very well. My biggest complaint or gripe with the game is that coming from the Pillars universe, this game lacks depth. It lacks depth from a franchise that has extreme depth, right? So that was my biggest complaint, but otherwise, I love the game. I thought the combat was fantastic. I thought the story was pretty good. I enjoyed pretty much all the companions and the characters. Like I said, I love the environments. I don't know, love the game. Next up. I know this is one of the games, this is the only game that's not from 2025, but it was my first time playing Phantom Liberty, DLC for Cyberpunk, and what an experience. Right before this, I played, it was I think we were at like 2.3 or whatever, but it was like, I hadn't touched Cyberpunk since 1.0 release in 2020, and it was incredible. This DLC was incredible. I remember finishing it and thinking, is this the greatest DLC of all time? Ultimately, I chose and come to the conclusion that for me personally, Blood and Wine is still the better DLC, but I think this is a close second. And that says a lot because it's from the same devs. It's insane. The game is actually insanely good, and this DLC is incredible. It's incredible. Not much to talk about. It's Cyberpunk in its purest form, in the best form. It is, bar none, in recent years, some of the best story, characters, and anything of an experience that you can imagine. It's incredible. Play it. Next up, there's a small game that came out this year called Hell Is Us. This was a game that I was surprised that there was a lot less people that played this game that I noticed. At least when it comes to like the bigger content creators. I love this game, dude. I loved that this game was lacking in, not lacking, it was directly chose not to have a lot of elements that most modern games have, which is quest markers, compasses on your, your screen telling you exactly where to go, a quest log that says, go here, do this, talk to this person, yada yada. It might tell you, you need to talk to this person. Where is that person? Who knows? You have to figure out clues to figure out. Maybe you have to just talk to some random folks in another town to figure out where this person is. And I will say they did it in a way where the main story, it honestly wasn't that difficult to figure out what you needed to do, where you needed to go. A lot of the puzzles were very, I would say, in line difficulty with like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, of that ilk. You know, not too difficult. They didn't really, they didn't tell you how to do anything. You had to figure all this stuff out, which was great, but it wasn't that hard. But there was a lot of extra stuff, optional content, and that stuff could be very difficult. And you're so obscure. You're like, who the hell would figure this out? You know, kind of thing. I loved, honestly, literally everything about this game except two things. Three things? Yeah, maybe three. Enemy variety, and this was a big one. This is one that we talked about the entire game. The enemy variety is extremely lacking. Now, there is a story reason for it, but I would have liked more enemies. Combat. I thought it was fine. I thought it was better than serviceable. I thought it was fine, you know, decent. I liked how you upgraded your weapons and things, and you, based on the emotion. So that was like a huge theme of the game is your emotions. You had like grief, anger, ecstasy, and I can't remember what the other one is. Blue, red, yellow, and green were the colors. And then there was like a neutral. And so you can like imbue your weapons with one of these things, and then it did things more along those lines. But still the combat was kind of janky. But, I mean, it was fine. But it could have been better. Lack of boss fights. And I will say, I thought the ending was absolutely terrible. The ending of the game sucked. I was like, what? But, I mean, you know, enjoying 98% of the game all the way up until the last, 5 minutes. And you're just like, wait, what? I don't know. I thought this game was very, very good. I really hope to see more games by these devs, more games of this style. Just, hopefully they can learn from what they did with this game and come up with something that's a little bit, more in tune. Next up, we have Ghost of Yotei. I was a huge fan of Ghost of Tsushima. It was my game of the year for 2020, actually. And that's saying a lot considering FF7 Remake came out that year, Hades came out that year. Ghost of Tsushima, I thought, is, and to this day, I still think is one of the greatest games of all time. For me, it's probably in a top 10 list of like all time is Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Yotei, I already knew was not going to be as good as Tsushima for me, just purely because of the story. I'm not a huge fan of revenge stories, especially when they're kind of simple. And, so that already is a huge negative for me. But everything else about the game is insane. So much so that I think it's superior to Tsushima in every way except the story. And maybe some of the characters. Just due to the nature of the story, I'm not a huge fan of Atsu. But that's not like a fault of, the actor or anything. Oh, I just realized I'm not covering up my webcam. It's just the nature of the story. Ended up that way. But the combat is superior. Absolutely loved the fact that you have, instead of the stances of the first game, you have just different weapons. It basically fulfills the exact same role, but it's just cooler. Instead of just having a katana the whole game. Katana, Kusurigama, Odachi, Spear, or the Yari, dual katana, all this. And you have two different types of bows. I thought, I can't remember too much in the first game. I want to say that the armors did very similar, and then with the charms and everything. I don't know, man. And visually, the game is chef's kiss, dude. This game is gorgeous. Next up, let's talk about the Outer Worlds 2, boys. Outer Worlds 2, this game came out, and I played this game at the perfect time because this is exactly what I needed. This game is everything that Avowed needed to be in its own setting. I have a very similar take of this that Code Carnage does, and that I think Outer Worlds 2 is literally everything that Outer Worlds 1 was, but better. and by like a big margin. Outer Worlds 1, when I played it, I enjoyed it, but I was like, man, it's lacking in the RPG stuff. It's lacking in weapon variety. It's lacking in a lot of this stuff. Outer Worlds 2, excuse me, you want weapon variety? Boom. There's a gajillion stuff. If I had to really like start nitpicking on things, it would probably be like, okay, armor stuff, it was, I don't know, armor and helmet. You're really looking more at the mods more than the gear, and it kind of comes down to fashion souls in that sense. But yeah, there's tons of weapons, tons of different ways to play the game. The flaws in this game are awesome. The flaw system, I loved this game beginning to end. Every moment that I played with this game, I just had a blast. There's a reason why this is on my list. It's one of my favorite games of the whole year. It's incredible. And I just always thought it was funny. Like, I remember playing this game and seeing a lot of people talk about, like, all the, like, game's trash. Characters are trash. The game looks like ass. The graphics are terrible. The graphic, it's an art style. I think the game actually looks very good. Now, is it my favorite art style? No, it's not. Absolutely not. I would much prefer something more, realism. I would absolutely prefer realism over this, but hey, it's what we got, and everything else is just perfect. All right, these next two games that I'm going to show and talk about, I do not have my own footage of it, so these are just the gameplay stuff from the official channels. Well, this one's the IGN one. But yeah, man, it's Death Stranding 2. I, for the first time, played through the entirety of Death Stranding 1 right before this came out, and it was good. I remember I played maybe like 8 to 10 hours of Death Stranding 1 when it first came out as well, and I just put it down and just, eh. But it was always like, yeah, I need to finish it. Decided to finally finish it because Death Stranding 2 came out, and boy am I glad, because Death Stranding 2 is 10 plus times better than Death Stranding 1. It is, for me personally. It's more gamified. You're still doing the same thing. You're still a UPS carrier, but it doesn't feel as much of a chore as the first game did. This time it definitely feels more, like I said, it feels more gamified. It feels more fun. If there's any complaint that I do have, is that there definitely was a lot less threat of the BTs, I felt like, and I could pretty much, and I mean, to be fair, you could do this in the first game too, but pretty much just anytime that there was a situation where it was like supposed to be super dangerous and I had to like sneak, I just ran through. You know, there was really no issue. And then when you had to fight them, I mean, it was definitely fun. I mean, you get weapons really early in the game compared to, because in the first game you don't get weapons pretty early. I don't know, man. The story was great. The characters are amazing. This game is much more Kojima wacky stuff too than the first game. I thought this game was, this game deserves some awards, man. It was so good. It was so good. And again, man, let's talk about this. I only have a base PS5. I don't have a PS5 Pro. It still looked absolutely gorgeous on performance. So, I don't know, man. I thought the game was great. Waiting for more Kojima games. Oh, anime. I had to play an anime game this year, boys and girls and people. This game came out of nowhere for me. I literally heard about this game like 3 days before it came out. And when I say heard about it, hearing about the remaster. I knew about the Trails franchise, of course. Who has it? The game is, it's like one of the biggest RPG franchises of continuation that there is. It's like what, 20 games? I even own the original first chapter. I just never played it because by the time it was gifted to me by a friend of mine, and it just yeah, I don't know. It took a while, but the game's amazing. I was, sold on the combat and the orbment system very early on, and that's what helped push me through to keep playing the game. And then at a certain point, the story hit a point, and I was just like, oh, I gotta keep playing. It's anime weeboo as fuck, but we're playing this. And I'm sold on the whole franchise. So I'm waiting for the remake of Chapter 2. Alrighty. That's that. And now it's time to make our list. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So I think for me, let's see, how are we gonna do this? Avowed is gonna be at the bottom. So I want to try to like rank the bottom first. It's probably gonna be this. Ghost of Yote. As much as I love this game, it's probably still like this. Let's see here. Just because of how bad the early of it was, it's probably going to go somewhere like right here. Monster Hunter Wilds. Blueprints. I love the game. I love all these games. But it's not going to go there. It's going to probably go like here. LSS is also not that high. It's going to probably go here. So now it's not, I'm trying to like filter the top. Let's put Trails in the Sky a little higher actually, because this kind of blew me away. I'm gonna put Blueprints down there. I like Trails a lot. Tic Tacs, loved it, but it is a remake, remaster. I'm gonna put it down here. Night Rain's gonna go there. Flare Obscure is gonna go, or I mean, KCD2 is gonna go here. You know what? I think this is it. I think this right here is my ranking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know? So let me know down in the comments below, guys. What is your ranking of games of 2025? And, you know, how much do you agree with my list? How much do you absolutely think my list is trash? How much do you guys don't even play these games and it's other games? It's like, it's Arc Raiders and all this other stuff, you know? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. What's your game of the year? What are your other games? What things are robbed? You know, so like for me, it still has to be Clear Obscure. The game is, this is going to go down in history as one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's just going to. And Cyberpunk DLC didn't even come out this year. But it's that good too. Anyways, you know, thanks for watching. This is a long video. It's my 2025 list. Let's see what 2026 has to offer and bring us. All right. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. It really, really helps, and it makes me feel good since I don't really do this often. But yeah, see you guys next time.